Hey, welcome to the Big Money Management YouTube channel. My name is Jonathan Burgess, and today we're going to be talking about the 2021 Medicaid asset and income rules. And these are pertaining to Medicaid paying for at-home or nursing care and what asset levels that you can have to still apply for the government to pay for your nursing care or at-home care. And this has really become more of a hot topic since post-coronavirus, when all these people were in nursing homes. Generally, you would have people from, going into a nursing home, and then with the coronavirus, there was a high death rate. So it sparked a lot of people thinking about long-term care, at-home care. What can I do to protect and prepare myself? What's it going to cost? So let's talk about what it would take for Medicaid to pay for that at-home or nursing care. So I think at first what we need to know is what would it cost if you funded this on your own? So let's look at two scenarios. You've got a single individual and then you've got married. So for a single individual, it's going to be anywhere from $6,000 to $10,000 a month for nursing or at-home care. And then for a married couple, it'd be anywhere from $12,000 to $20,000 per month. For at-home care. So when you look at that, and you think about your retirement nest egg, how long would it stand up paying an additional $6,000 to $10,000 out for one spouse, let alone $12,000 to $20,000 if both spouses had to go into the nursing home? So at what levels does Medicaid cover individuals 100% from the federal system to pay for this at-home care? So first thing, you have to pass the asset rule. And what the asset rule is the maximum amount of assets that an individual can have to be able to get at-home care from Medicaid. So for a single person, you can have a whopping $2,000. So $2,000 is the maximum amount of allowable assets for you to be able to have Medicaid pay for your at-home or nursing care. And then for a married couple, that goes up to $3,000. So they are pretty low when we look at those numbers. So the next thing that we want to do is we want to look at the community spouse rule. So community spouse rule is if one spouse goes into nursing care and then the other spouse is considered a community spouse. And the spouse that is in the institution is called the institutionalized spouse. So number one, what is the resource allowance? The resource allowance is the maximum amount that the community spouse can have while the institutionalized spouse is in at-home care. And in 2021, that number is $130,380. So you, as the community spouse, can have $130,380 of the institutionalized spouse or your assets here. So that is the maximum amount allowed for the community spouse. Next thing, we have the maintenance needs allowance. So this one is the asset rule for the community spouse. And then this one's going to be the income limit. So one thing to keep in mind, the community spouse can have 100% of their income. For instance, if they have a pension that's paying them $6,000 a month, they can have that pension 100%. And then the next thing is the maintenance needs allowance, which is $3,259 per month, $3,259 monthly. So $3,259 per month is what the community spouse can have coming in each month without having to fund that to the nursing home. And again, they can keep 100% of the income, pension, Social Security, all those things that is made out to them. But for instance, let's say the community spouse was just living off of Social Security, and then you had the institutionalized spouse who had a pension. Well, that would go towards that $3,259. They could actually get some of the institutionalized spouse's money. So next thing, I think the easiest way to understand this is let's go through an example. So here we've got a married couple. They're older. Let's just call them 85 years old. They're 85 years old, 85-year-old couple. And they've got $250,000 in assets at 85. They go to apply for Medicaid. They're going to say, nope, you cannot get Medicaid. We have got to have you guys spend these assets down to, or use the assets for at-home care to $130,380. So that's number one. Those assets would have to be spent down. And then the income from this, the income unlimited, if two community spouse, we'll just call it common spouse. And then if it was other income, that other income would flow to, if it was income from the institutionalized spouse and the community spouse wasn't already making that $32.59, then that would go towards that. So they could make that amount of money. So those are the asset and income rules. And then a couple other rules here. You've got home equity limits. What's the maximum amount of home equity that you can have and still get Medicaid? That is, in 2021, $603,000 in home equity that you can have. If you have anything over that, you would have to cash out the home and spend down some of that equity. Other thing, the uncompensated transfer rule is for 5 years. Okay, so this is the by far most important thing. We've got here, we help our clients, we can help them develop a long-term care strategy where if they are going to have to pay for care, and you might be thinking right now, well, the wealthy, they have plenty of money to cover at-home care, and the people who have done poorly with their finances, they're going to apply for Medicaid. So it's really the people in the middle who are getting the short end of the stick. And in a lot of scenarios, you're right if they don't do the proper planning. So what we help with is developing some tax-free long-term care income plans for our clients using existing assets like an IRA. How can they leverage those to create tax-free income to be able to take care of long-term care? That's some of the planning that we do here. But we also have other professionals that we deal with that here, this is a big deal, right? Because uncompensated transfer rule, if you were about to go into a nursing home and then 2 or 3 days before that, you transfer all your assets into a trust, whenever you go to apply for Medicaid, they're going to say, have you made any uncompensated transfers in the last 5 years? And if you say yes, it is going to flag that Medicaid application, and they definitely will have something to come back with you with some ongoing conversations. Medicaid would, and more than likely you could get denied. So if you are a younger person, if you're 60 right now, you definitely want to go ahead and get that trust set up so you get these assets out of your name. Another thing here too is it's called the estate recovery rights. The estate recovery rights, you can have a regular home. You can have a home that's completely paid off. But if Medicaid paid for you or your spouse, whenever they die, whenever both spouses die, they have estate recovery rights. Medicaid does. So they can actually come in and take your house, sell it, to try to recover some of the costs that they had out of pocket. So, getting these assets out of your name 5 years before that, any non-retirement accounts, putting them in a trust, any property, putting that in a trust, you want to make sure that once you get to that level, you have everything transferred out. You've got a proper long-term care plan. So really it comes between care planning and estate planning on how you avoid all of this happening. So I hope that helped. It's kind of shocking how low the numbers are. But definitely if you do some proper planning, you can definitely put yourself in a place where you are protecting yourself from these super low limits. If you have any questions about the video, make sure to comment down below. And if you received any value from this or know someone who's getting close to that age, that 85-year-old age, definitely send them this video so they know what to prepare for. We'd love to see you. Make sure you smash the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and check out all the other great valuable videos that we have coming out.